Man, I had some. He just exposed me on the story. I was having some of that Arizona energy drink. I do not recommend.
Yo, did you see what he has?
I do not
Arizona
recommend.
has an energy drink.
It's $1.50.
That's I ain't gonna lie, yo, bro.
For 50 more cents, you could ruin your life.
I feel like you're better than this.
You could do better. That's all I'm saying. Yo, can I say something about your Hive too?
Yo.
I want to shout out to Courtney Hive.
No.
No. Let me say why I want to shout out to Courtney Hive. I want to shout out to Courtney Hive because literally I'll be in the live stream and everybody will be like, I'll be like, what DAW y'all rep? And they say 12.
12.
And I genuinely be like, wow. Like you really, yo,
Culture.
I see what you did.
Culture.
I don't like the Courtney
I
Hive
like
because
Why? Why?
Court got off 1.5 questions at our Jason episode.
And he's a genius.
And that's the biggest clip.
It
Whoa.
is.
They're
Oh
like,
my
we got
God.
the Courtney question of the week.
I'm not gonna.
No, what made it funny is when Jason Joshua said,
Like, I've heard about
I
that.
heard
heard
about
about
you,
you.
Courtney, not me and him. Not me and him.
I'm not gonna lie.
Heard
I
about
think
this
I
guy.
think you realized because y'all must have put him on, and then he flipped the power dynamic. Because I was like, remember, I led with how'd you get the 808 to sound like that with Limitless? He said, I'll do you one better. Did you know RC20 was on that record? We was like,
Yeah, that
wait,
was crazy.
what?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know that RC20 was on that record at all.
Yeah, what
shout
I
out
learned
Jason.
the most from that episode was the Max Martin white noise.
Oh my goodness.
What, did we clip that?
Yeah, we did.
Bro.
We both did.
Great story.
Yeah.
That,
Have you tried it?
I haven't. Nah, I haven't gotten a chance.
Yo, so I have it in my session, just a little white noise track. Yo, bro, it actually does really do something, bro. Like when I mute it back and forth, it's just a
Did Jason
feeling.
snitch?
What do you mean he snitched?
I wonder if Max was counting on nobody ever finding out.
Nah, I don't think
Imagine.
so. I don't think so.
I would love. Max is like one of those magnum opus episodes too, because I've
Yeah.
never heard a thing from him.
Yeah, that's true.
This is gonna sound so crazy. Of course, he has to speak English, but I wonder if he speaks really well.
He does.
Oh,
He's
like, is he
accepted
fluent?
Grammys, bro.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, no. He's
I mean,
shout out Max
I
Martin.
need
all
I
good.
need to
All
tune
good.
in.
Yeah.
He's
But
accepted.
he's like this mystical, locked character.
He
No,
is.
for
He
real.
is an
And,
unlock.
like-
He's on it servant. To me, it's kind of he's
Yeah.
servant-ish.
Yeah.
Because it's like he's pretty mysterious, but at the same time, I know enough. Like for instance, there's a doc out there called Pop. What is it? What is Pop?
Oh, what is Pop?
yeah.
Bro, so Max is in it. Like
Oh.
some things about him are in
Yeah.
it, but it also talks about why are most of the hit records that was coming out in the 2000s and beyond coming out of like Sweden.
Yeah.
All of them. Max, like it was a bunch of
Dr.
producers.
Luke.
Dr. Luke, like, and I forgot the main dude. Dead Pop. His name.
Oh, Dead Mouse.
No, not Dead
Dead
Mouse.
Mouse.
It's another guy that not saying inspired Max Martin, but he was
Yeah.
like one of the
In that vein, yeah.
like one of the early guys that was making pop records. So I don't know what it's a good doc. I encourage
I wonder
everybody to
where, I
come
wonder where
check it
David's
out.
from. Is he from Sweden?
Who?
David Guetta.
Wow.
He might be from
But
that
in that
Scandinavia,
region,
like
yeah.
Not of some media say ignorant.
that-
He might be from like that
Yeah.
region
and
too.
somewhere that's not America. That's the best way I can put it. That's funny.
That's the most
'cause
American shit to say.
Doc wise, I think I watched that Yacht Rock doc, bro.
Yacht Rock.
Yacht Rock, the genre.
I don't know what Yacht Rock is. What's that?
Yacht Rock was the episode in the 70s. Rock and roll was the thing, but the man was Macho Man. Yacht Rock was the Human Natures and the Doobie Brothers, where it was like the dude that was in love and was, like, talking to the girls.
Got you. Okay,
Like, I'm not really Nirvana, but
like that kind of like how can I say?
Michael McDonald.
Okay,
Yeah.
like floaty, very like
Bro, when you see the songs that genre, like, bro,
Yacht
it
rock.
ruined it. Like, to see how many hits that genre had. Oh my goodness.
I'm about to say, is like George Michael considered in that?
I don't
Wham?
know enough about George Michael, brother.
got you.
I'm gonna be
Yacht
so-
Rock.
Yeah,
That's so
and
interesting.
Human Nature was kind of
Boy,
like the
George.
last hit in that
kind of
world.
vein.
But one second, let me find you.
That's interesting.
There's a lot of sleepers in that time,
What a
especially
Fool
like
Believes, Doobie Brothers,
Yeah.
Georgie Porgy, Christopher Cross,
yes.
bro, Michael McDonald. His bro.
Interesting. I'll tap it. You know, I
actually
was
look this up.
watching. What?
I'm sorry, we never spoke about the Pharrell doc.
Can I
Did
tell
y'all
you
watch
something?
it?
I've still never seen it. I'm so sorry. Did
Piece
it?
by
Is it,
piece,
is it
I
out
know.
anywhere?
Again, I think it's out of theaters now. It might be on
Yeah.
Prime.
I'm about to say it's coming
No,
to
I'm gonna say if it's out of theaters, it's somewhere.
it's
It
coming
might
it's
be
coming
on
to
Prime.
streaming soon, I think.
No, it's on Prime, but I don't know if you have to purchase it on Prime.
I'll buy
probably
it.
purchase
Look, I'll
it.
buy it.
Bro,
That's fine.
I haven't. You haven't watched it either.
No, I do want to see
I
it.
implore you.
I'm mad I didn't get to see it
telling
in theaters.
everyone who's watching this, just watch as a creative of any discipline.
Right.
Just watch that doc.
Right.
Like it's a Lego doc. It has all everybody from Hove to Kendrick. Like they're all speaking. They all have their own Legos. I didn't know Pharrell had a dry period. Like in my mind, because I was born in the middle of his run.
Oh, you mean like
so I didn't know like
he had no
between 08 and or 07 and 2011. It was Get Lucky that brought everything back. It was like whoa.
He not disappeared, but I just wasn't hearing about. Pharrell
he spoke about it.
Yeah.
He's like he tried to do a lot.
Shout out to him.
He took a lot of accountability. I'm happy that Chad was in it. I'm really happy.
Oh,
that
nice. Chad was in it too.
All over it.
Oh, nice.
Like, he didn't diminish it. Diminish him at all.
That's tough.
He spoke in it. Tim and Missy and Chad. They were all in the same school.
Right.
Like he's from Teddy Riley to Nori, bro.
It was really dope.
It's funny. Like Snoop is smoking. They got Pusha T.
A Lego
selling.
Snoop smoking.
Yeah,
that's hard.
Well, no, not they called it Snoop spray or something.
Oh,
like,
that's
it was funny like that.
Okay,
they had
okay.
Slickly had Pusha T like sell a substance like Slickly.
Wow.
Right before he got the grinding beat. Every beat was how can I put this? Every beat was like represented by like a gift. Like a box. And it was like this, I don't know what to call it. Right. But it was like this little special thing that I remember he said to Nori, do not open the Super Thug beat, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
He sent Nori 3 beats. Yeah, he sent Nori 3 beats. He said, don't listen to this one until you're on the plane or wherever you need to go. So they had it like on a plane looking at the box, not being able to open it.
Right.
It's just
dope.
It's
creative.
Creative as hell, man.
Yeah, it's just super creative.
Shout out to Pharrell.
I'll check it out.
Shout out to the Neptunes. Thank you for
I'm
everything.
to check that out soon.
Yeah, for sure. I was gonna to switch gears. I was gonna off camera. We was kind of talking about Black Friday and stuff like that.
Wait, I'm sorry, because I like where we're at with the inspiring. Like what's inspiring y'all? The podcasts that are bringing the older like musicians. Shout out to y'all.
Oh my gosh,
those clips are
go with
busted.
Elmo.
Yes,
Elmo.
yes.
Shout out Elmo. Shout out One More Time podcast. Shout out Blind Audio podcast. Shout out like there's a bunch of
and the writer is. Shout out
Rick Beto. Beto. I never say his name right. Rick Beto.
I think so.
He's honestly he might be the biggest.
Yeah.
So correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sorry. Like he brings the instrumentalists, like real guitar.
His clips are everywhere, and they're like, bro, they're talking about these stories about It's always the Michael Jackson.
It's always the Michael one.
Yeah.
That's what's the drummer's name?
I forget his name.
Give me my phone because I want to say his name. Because I ain't gonna lie, even when I showed Momo that clip, when he said, I love his story when he talks about. Oh my God! Damn, let me get it up. When he says, I'm so sorry because I genuinely that story just I love that story. When he said, yo, Quincy came in and said, yo, play me. I need you to play a drum roll intro that people will remember for the rest of their lives. And he said, okay. And he said 1, 2, 3. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da.
Smacked it.
He said, I didn't hit it on the one. I hit it on, bro. Something about that like genuinely makes me smile, bro. Like,
what is inspiring y'all? I think this is
right now.
Yeah.
What's inspiring me? You know what I've really deep dive on? I've deep dived more on just getting my mixes better, bro. And what I'm saying to getting my mixes better is I've been realizing, bro, that pulling back, man, is one of the greatest things on earth. I was actually listening. Thank you for bringing this up, actually. I was listening to an interview. Actually, it was someone on our live. Shout out our members. And one of our members talking about, Jon Castelli doesn't use compression. And I was like, what do you mean he doesn't use compression? He's like, I don't compress. And I was like, let me investigate. What are you talking about? So I found a few interviews of these clips. Shout out, I forgot the podcast or what he was on. Sorry about that. Where Jon Castelli is kind of going through his mentality about compression. And he was talking about how he's like, why am I compressing? He's like, all these stems come super compressed already. Yeah. Like, I'm trying to uncompress them. And I'm not saying, sorry if I'm misquoting you or kind of getting the ideology wrong. I'd like to understand more because I kept saying, like, I want to understand more. But he was talking about how people use too much compression in mixing where he's like, yo, a lot of these stems and the stuff like that we get as mixers, like, come compressed. He was like, so why are you trying to compress it more? He's like, what, to even out dynamic? He said, I know those answers. Like, it was interesting. I implore everyone to go, like, just listen and check it out. But Jon Castelli, if this gets to Jon Castelli, dude, I would love to understand like your thoughts on compression a lot deeper, like than what I was seeing on the surface. So that has been inspiring me. Where I ain't gonna lie, that one statement made me go, "Why am I?" Well, not why am I compressing, but I was like, let me back off a little bit. And I did a mix the other day and I said, let me chill on some of this compression on the instrument. And it felt so much better. And I was like, I need to relax. Like
I did the same thing with my vocal. Actually, just last night, I was doing a demo, and then I was like, I went for 3 compressors, and I was just like, let me not do more than like 2 dB on any of them, really.
Let me just see what it sounds like. So we was talking about earlier. I changed a few things on my my recording template recently. Shout out Ben Thomas, because I was looking at. I ain't gonna lie. I went back to that Wavy Wayne when we went to Wavy Wayne's thing. And remember his recording his recording class that he did. And I was like, let me go. Because remember, when we was listening to it in the studio, it sounded great.
Yeah, OD.
Off rip. So I said, yo, let me look at Ben's vocal chain. I was just inspired because I just changed my studio over and stuff like that. So I looked at it and I saw a few things that I was like, why am I not trying to put Spectre on the vocal? Like, I was like, let me try it.
I thought that's how you were supposed to use
it.
No,
I'm talking about in the recording side.
I know. I thought that was how.
But what Ben was doing was, shout out Ben Thomas, he had the warm setting for the high end. So the high end that he was boosting on the vocal was the warm setting, and it sounded so lush. It made me go to my template and go, oh my God.
Where was he boosting it at?
Like 3K. He was at like 3.5K and he was boosting and shelving
making
the top end. But it was a nice, hot, it was a beautiful, and it kind of helped me with my sibilance a bit. It kind of smoothed things out a little bit, kind of saturated. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that made me change my whole template. I said, oh my God, I'm gonna do this.
I'll be honest.
What?
I feel like the auto-tune guys right now, and I'm the waves tune dude.
I'm crying.
Because
talk about it.
I'm on, what's they called? What is it called?
What?
The waves Soothe 3.
Yo, Colin Waves Kersey Equator Soothe 3.
Kersey
Equator.
I got that right on the chain, man.
How do you wait? Oh, so you got it in your recording chain?
Yeah.
Is no latency?
I don't mix.
No.
No.
Really? I didn't realize there's no latency
on it.
No latency.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie.
Does it give me latency?
You would notice. You do this.
But I'm trying to remember if I bypass it. There is a new plugin I've added. I think I bypass. It might. I think it does give me latency.
Really?
I'm tripping.
Okay, so you turn it off during.
Yeah, I bypass it. Yeah.
And use it like when you're finished. Okay, cool. Because I'm about to say, I was like,
I got it confused quickly with Smart EQ, which does have.
Got you. You've been.
I'm about to say because that has the AI on it. The Kersey
I want you to. I want to talk about that, but I want to ask you about Kersey Equator because I'll be honest with you. I feel like Kersey Equator. It's not flying under the radar, but I think that not say it talked about much, but I feel like people are overlooking it for soothe because they're not using it. They're trying to use it the same way, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel like people are trying to use.
And that's the thing.
I'm
realizing I said to both of y'all off camera, I have to get back into my $12.50 a month soothe subscription. But I was like, as I'm doing my vocal cleanup work, I'm always just like, I know immediately. I'm like, what will make this instantly better? Soothe. But don't have that right now. Right. I know I could get at least 30% of the way there with Curves Equator starting shit off and then going back down.
And then going back down.
Interesting.
And it really does work. Can I
tell you why I think you might like it? The start of, and I did this on my live the other day. I was showing people. I was like, yo, anytime you have a bunch of filters, right? Like a bunch of filters. You are obviously introducing phase, right? You're changing the phase, right? So anytime you put an EQ on and you put a bunch of like notches in and you like down, up, you're altering the phase of that sound. So what I said was, I showed everybody. I said, I'm gonna show you something about the sharpness knob. I think it's the most overlooked knob on Soothe. I cranked the sharpness knob all the way up, right? And I said, listen to this. And everybody sees, you know how you turn Soothe up and you see a bunch of little, and I said, listen to this sound, right? Then I said, I'm going to start to back off the sharpness and make the cuts broader. So I started backing off and I was like, look how much better that sounds, right? And I was like, I think what a lot of people don't realize is when you have a lot of like, because I know Soothe doesn't work like it's a bunch of EQs or a bunch of like multi-band compression, but there's a bunch of filters in my head that's happening. And what it's causing is it's causing so much of phase distortion that it kind of makes the vocals or the sound mad unnatural. So I've been realizing that when I take the sharpness and I back it off like to more broad, it sounds better. I've been doing that also just with my regular EQ and just doing more broader like EQ filters because I noticed that those filters for me just sound better. Even, and I'll finish my rant, even in Pro MB, I've been realizing, the spots where the crossovers are?
Yeah.
I've been, usually they're set to like default 24 dB per octave.
But the zipper icon, you can change the filter size.
Change the filter size. Bro, I've been changing it to 6. It sounds
natural.
It sounds so much more natural. It doesn't feel like I'm getting that weird phase cancellation. So someone way smarter than me can help me understand that and explain it. But I've noticed that with my ear, just like, I like the sound of not so hard filters and less dB per octave, like way lower dB per octave.
That makes me want to.
I've been wanting to say that for a minute.
That makes me want to test the Rosetta on
Extreme. I did that.
Is it balanced, extreme, surgical?
So I started.
And surgical is the lightest.
Surgical is the tighter. Is the tighter cues. But I'm gonna be honest. I did it with Rosetta EQ the other day. I put it in extreme. Sounded better. I was like, yep, broader, because it's a broader filters. I did it, bro. Thank you for bringing that up, because that's exactly the plugin that I was like, let me see it with my own EQ, and I said I went to extreme, and it's a much broader. Filter. So it sounds better.
So what
to me
plugin that it doesn't have to have dropped this year, but what plugin did you cop this year that is for your favorite?
What this year? I love that. We really need to do an award show. By the way, we'll figure that out one day.
Damn.
Go ahead.
Let me start off.
I spit already. I said it.
Because mine is a lot. Soothe probably just let's just get it out the way. Yeah, I got Soothe this year. Yep.
It didn't come out this year, but he's saying just like in general, like as far as what he copped, like that came in.
So probably in terms of a workhorse plugin, Soothe. But I just did a great Black Friday purchase the other day. I got about maybe 6 plugins. I will say I've been sleeping on it for dumb long.
What?
Shout out Baby Audio. That Super VHS is the super one for sure.
Oh my gosh, you just gave me my answer. Ooh.
And I wanted to put you on Ample Sounds, the company. Their guitar collection I just showed him the other day.
Yeah.
Bro, that songwriting feature. Fire.
I haven't tried their songwriting feature.
It's so good. The Ample Sound. Remember, I showed you with
you showed me.
And you can build out in the songwriting things, obviously notes and all that stuff, but then you can do the key switch effects and inflections from within the songwriter mode. You drag the MIDI over, it prints the key switches and stuff.
Right.
That and Oxford Inflator.
Oh wow! You just you finally got the inflator. How do you like the inflator?
I like the tonality of it. I haven't tried the band split mode on everything yet, but I do want to try it. But those I would say are my 3 favorite right now, and I'm very excited. I upgraded my Melodyne to Assistant. Shout out Simone Torres. I'm down to see what those new features are.
Yeah, she did put us onto that, and we just snitched. But I love it. I love it. Secret gems.
No, because she could have just DM'd us the sauce. Anyway, I think this year my favorite plugins that I've copped. I keep talking about Smart EQ, bro.
Yeah, that's your number one.
What is
this?
I like it because there was a point in time where I was creating so much, but I was so dissatisfied with my vocal chain. And in just creating, I never took the time to just say, hey, let me change my vocal chain.
Yes.
Like, I just kept making stuff, and I was like, bro, I can't. I don't have time. And I'm not smart enough. So, literally, I remember I got the CO1B, and I was like, all right, let me swap out my R comp for the CO1B. But then I was just like, there's something wrong with the EQ, and it was pissing me off trying to create and mix almost at the same time.
Right.
But I had used the Smart EQ free trial. I analyzed it. I boosted what they found, and man, I loved it. And it was just really like, it fixed it. So shout out Smart EQ, the CL1B. Wow.
Which one? The Sawtube?
Yeah. Okay. I'm so mad that I listen to everybody.
On that. Y'all everybody likes that plugin.
I'm so mad that I listen to everybody. This is the Mark II.
Yeah.
And yes, that is my new favorite. It's not number one. RVox is number one. But number 2 is the CL1B. And I'm running that with my 76 already. I might change that. I want to go to like a 5 plugin
chain
setup. Yeah,
and call it a day.
I do want to change my background chain too. That's so long.
Can I tell you that's the chain I switch the most.
Word.
Yeah.
That I keep changing. But shout out, screw it. Shout out Bob Horn, because when he told,
we love Bob Horn on the pod one day.
Facts.
Yo, we gotta have him on the pod one day.
You know the vibes. When Bob Horn talked about RVox on the individual tracks of the actual, bro, I was like, duh, bro, because it has such a much more forward kind of sound that I said, okay, off rip, at least I know my backgrounds have presence. Like, and I was like, he was like, he's not really compressing much on the actual whole bus, because it still feel natural.
Funny,
it clicked for me. I changed my whole background.
Funny you said that. After that. Definitely shout out Bob Horn for that. Shout out Jason Joshua for what I added to my new background vocal chain.
What?
I'm sending them through TrueVerb now because that early reflection knob is hidden.
Oh, I can't wait. Okay,
It's hidden.
you're right.
It's hidden for sure.
I've been using it for a long time. Like I've had it for a long time, but he reinvigorated that. Like, yo, duh. And I did it on a mix the other day, and I was like, look at that. Fell right behind the vocal. More like it inspired me for some other stuff.
There's somebody's chain that I want.
Who's?
His name is. It's funny enough. His name is Engine Ears, but like ears with a Z and engine dash ears.
Okay,
it's confusing.
Person's name?
Yeah, it's his name. I think he's in the UK because he works with a lot of artists from out there, and he worked on this girl named Sasha Keeble, and I love her voice so much. But I love she does this thing in damn near every record. Where it's this like choir background thing, but it's all her voice, so you can hear them stacks. Right. But the way he mixes it is so crazy, and her vocal is so up. I kid you not, some of my favorite R&B mixes this year.
Right.
And I never heard of this dude, but he's done like
Engine
Georgia
Ears.
Smith. Yeah, Georgia Smith. He's done Stormzy.
Wow.
Like he can mix a record.
Out. Got you.
I don't know if he's tracking as well, but man,
he can mix a record.
Kudos, bro.
Oh man, I wanted to say something. You said Georgia.
Old.
What you said? What was
Georgia Smith, Stormzy.
What did you say before that about the guy?
His name was Engineers. The choiry background.
So I was talking to Kardik. I think the day you came on a Kardik drum. Shout out Kardik drums. Kardik, he's one of our members too. Shout out Kardik, which is insane. Kardik was telling me, yo, you know what I tried the other day? He was like, I wanted some gang vocals. So what he did was he said he went, recorded one vocal, and then took it to an AI and just made it a bunch of different vocals.
I don't really want to talk. 1 second, actually. Pardon, I said Georgia Smith. I meant Cali Uchis. I just want to get that out.
Okay.
But I don't want to talk about it because I haven't tried it yet. There's this AI.
Just preface it like I haven't tried it.
I saw this ad for this AI. I don't know the name of it, but I know I saved it somewhere, so I'm gonna find it. Where somebody put in the lead and then picked the genre, and it spit back out backgrounds.
Yeah. It spit back out backgrounds.
Yeah, and
to
you could use your voice to train it, or you could use one of their.
Oh my gosh, I did find some other.
They trying to get vocal producers out of here.
Can I be honest with you?
Can I be producers?
I'm gonna keep it a thou wow with you. A company had approached myself and Jay recently to for like, hey, try this out, and I tried it, and it was. I don't want to say what it was. It was an AI tool, and it was so deadly to me, like in a sense of, I don't want this right now. Like I would just like, not right now. Yeah. I can't say what it did because you'll know. But bro, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh my god. I was like, what is going on?
If y'all know which one I'm talking about, please leave it in the comments. I'm not trying to gatekeep it or anything.
This AI,
something harmony.
It's different.
This AI,
So how we had last year being the year of Dolby or whatever, this year is the year of AI.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've been saying that. We said that all this year. We talked about AI, to be honest with you. It's here to stay. It's going to keep growing. Yeah.
Y'all finally caught up.
Yeah.
I mean, not y'all, but...
Yeah, I know. We're still in the background.
What was you going to say?
You know what I was
cooler kids.
You know what I was realizing? I literally just had this on the top of my mind since you just brought up your favorite plugins a couple minutes ago. Now that I'm thinking about it, did you start dealing with the EQ issue once you switched over to the CL1B and stuff? Or you was already kind of...
I also understood that I just swapped out a compressor for another. So it's like...
I was about to say...
Of course it's going to sound different.
Right, it's going to sound mad different.
And I was going to say, I was even having a little bit of a struggle finding a new balance once I downloaded my CL1B2. And I'm realizing their emulation of it, or it could just be the CL1B in general, I don't think it grabs signal like the 76 or the 2A. Like, the sound from it is way more open. So I'm like, I do have to do a little bit more controlling on this on the back end. But I don't want to push it into the... Because when you really are pushing into it, you can hear the compression.
I think that's what made me like...
You were kind of like,
because I didn't like how it was grabbing things. Can I be honest?
I like the transparency.
What I use, maybe this is an alternative. One of our people in the comment section actually might have said this already, but you know the custom opto in the Slate virtual
rack.
mix rack? I think that's a CL1B emulation. Yeah. That's my first compressor now. Like I use that as my first compressor, and it sounds, I put it on the warm setting. Yeah. It sounds so nice. Like, I don't know if that's my CL1B, but I have no reason. Like, I just love that compressor. Like, if that's a CL1B emulation, bro, I'm cool. Like, I'm so cool on it.
That's fire.
Yeah.
I'm mad at it.
Dang, I'm trying to think.
What?
Can I tell you, my brain just works so weird.
Go ahead.
He said New Balance immediately. I said, yo, New Balance Audio Nerds kick would be fire.
That'd be tough.
Oh, that'd be kind of tough.
And it makes it New Balance like.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's hard. We'll talk later. That's hard.
And this has been.
It's
the pod,
it's not.
man.
No, hold on.
Oh, it hasn't been a pod.
No, it hasn't been a
Then
pod.
I wanna open up an argument.
Okay, let's argue.
I'd like to make a case for my dog to be the dog of the year 2 years in a row, and I will also make a case that we should be tied.
Who should be tied?
Me,
Tied between
FL Studio and Ableton.
should be tied.
Yeah,
I
for
think
dog
y'all
of the
beating
year.
them.
No,
Yeah.
but I can acknowledge that Ableton has had a kick ass year.
Yeah,
Oh, we've been doing
with the,
good. We've been
with the
doing good.
hardware. Yeah,
Gracious.
they've
Even though their
done amazing.
hardware it felt like both pieces they put out. They put out the 3 this year, right?
Yes, it was
Yes.
a 3 this year. Yeah, to push
They
3.
put out both pieces they put out this year, which is OD first of all.
Yes,
2 like whoa.
Back to back. Yeah, it's crazy.
Shout out to y'all, but it
Thank
felt
you.
like there was a little controversy with both pieces. Like apparently the other one, the smaller one, you can only have like, if I'm not mistaken, 16 tracks max.
on a small one, 16.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like no more than 16 tracks, and then you got to move it to an Ableton live
session. Okay.
Yeah, it was that. That's a big turn off for some people.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the bigger 3, it had his whole. I'm not in the Ableton world. So
Nah, I
can't
feel you.
tell
Nah, there was mad
accurately.
bugs with it.
But I still think Ableton whooped behind. 12 obviously was a great update. I do think the FL 2024 update was OD. The FL Cloud, like when they brought in plugins to the FL Cloud, now we got a bunch of baby audio stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of
bro,
wild.
it's insane.
Yeah, I'd like to give most improved to Studio One.
Yes,
I hear that.
Oh yeah, I ain't gonna lie,
respectfully.
them having splices.
Bro,
And can I be
Yeah.
honest? They have a strong argument to try to go for MVP too.
Yeah.
and I don't blame them.
I think, like I said, what I've been, shout out my guy Dustin over there too. Just kind of just exposing me to like what's happening. Because what I forget is Studio One. I think it's Studio. Oh, right, Studio One Persona, like just personas in general, actually.
Yeah.
Because what guitar company bought them? Was it Fender?
Yes.
Fender. Like ever since Fender, I ain't gonna lie, has come in and I guess if I'm not mistaken, purchased them, bro. I've noticed like
A change.
there's a change here in the culture, the culture of the DAW. Because when I went to their event, shout out Trinity. I met remember
pulled
when
up,
we was there. Like shout out Trinity. Shout out all the producers that we met. Jazzy Jeff. They had Wavy Wayne come out and do it. Like to me, that was a big shift culturally where I was like, what
Never
y'all
seen
trying
that
to do?
from y'all. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what y'all doing? It's kind of like what I. And, you know, obviously, y'all shouting out y'all dog. Like, you know, obviously, Leaving is talking about his dog, stuff like that. It kind of makes me sit back on my dog and just say to myself, like, damn, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what? It's official to me where it's like, you're falling off. Like, even though we know it been that way.
I don't
but
think we can say it.
it is falling. It is no.
It's
but
too
the
big to fail, bro.
it is.
Yeah.
It's too big to fail. You're absolutely right. But I'm talking about culturally.
I was say it's
Yeah.
ruined this perception.
Culturally, the perception of Pro Tools, it's
It's
old.
we use it because we have to. This is literally like we have no choice.
That's the unfortunate thing, and I hate that we use it because it's like we have no choice. Now, granted, amazing piece of software, right? Like for me, it is how I get my musical ideas out. That's just me. I love it. I love it to death. But I also, at the same time, it's like when I look at the other like techs, like as far as
Competitors and
y'all
stuff,
and
yeah.
stuff like that, I go, hey y'all, like we the big ones. You know what I mean? We the big one. Like why do I feel like I gotta go over there to get that? Like you are the DAW. You know what I mean? Like I wish.
Logic had a good update too.
Oh yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want to over.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think we smoked out. Can I?
They got the stem separation too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Can I give? I don't want to, because I don't want to harsh it up.
Right.
But the underwhelming of the year award,
Goes to.
I got
I
one.
have one, and I think it wins by a mile.
What?
Native Instruments overall.
Really?
I feel like the new Complete was the most underwhelming release of a Complete I've ever seen.
Okay.
Like like every
Yeah.
year, every time, I think they put it out every other year. For the last 4 times, they've gotten me. Like there was always something that made me say,
That was like,
gotta
yeah.
get
I
it.
just have to upgrade.
Right.
The only thing I really wanted this year was the Alicia's electric keys,
I downloaded it.
and I was like, I'm gonna just buy it separately instead of upgrading my
the
whole thing. And it's like, I know we're saving money and all of that, but it feels like the same still over and over thing.
Right.
And what really got y'all is Machine 3.0. The first update in Machine in 10 years.
In 10 years?
And the only thing they added was stem separation.
No way. For real?
They haven't,
like really revamped, like for the big 10 years.
Yeah, even like a lot of Machine people don't like
the new Machine.
They don't, they're just staying with their threes, their MK3s. Or I don't know what the newest ones are. I remember when the Jam came out years ago, that was like a lot of people were just like, ugh.
Right.
I will say thank you to Native Instruments for reviving or just putting some attention to Tractor as a DJ software.
Yeah, I've been seeing people talk about Tractor more lately.
It felt neglected for years.
It was the program for years.
It felt neglected for years, for a lot of years, and they didn't have a new controller for a lot of years. I think until Pioneer was compatible with one.
Wow.
And it was just like, all right, well, we finally got something new, but it's not from Native.
Right.
Like, I love Native's aesthetic. I've championed Native for years on this pod, but this year was the first year I was just like, I don't know. Like, y'all have Isotope, and y'all Isotope is gonna do what Isotope gotta do. I don't know if it's a thing of y'all getting used to being able to have the bandwidth to support all
both. Yeah,
like y'all have Plugins Alliance and the what you call it, Black Box EQ.
Oh, we gotta talk about that.
Exactly. So y'all are like Plugin Alliance, Brainworks, like y'all are doing your thing, Isotope, but just Native Instruments, that entity. This year felt like the first year I was just like, y'all aren't in the conversation to me, and y'all are always in the y'all are superstar. It feels like almost Apple, but regardless, people are gonna buy the iPhones. I feel like this is like the year everybody's like, I'm gonna just keep my iPhone.
I understand that comparison.
You know what I mean? So, shout out to Native Instruments. I really, and this is not from a place of disdain. This is a place of like, I want to see y'all step up next year.
Okay.
And can I tell one more company too? And we've said this every year on
this pod.
Sure,
then take us out.
Bro, Output. Please drop something.
Yo, facts, bro.
I'm tired of the sale every year, bro. I know you love arcade, but bro,
I love I agree. Analog strings, like I ran through it. Exhale,
amazing,
bro. Exhale.
They make amazing pieces.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. My favorite plugin of the year.
What?
Because I said
I didn't say
Smart
mine,
EQ
but cool.
and CO1B. But I didn't say the one that I've used the absolute most. What? I don't remember if I got it last year or this year.
What?
But I don't care. It's the most used plugin besides Auto-Tune or whatever.
What?
It's Magic Dice.
Oh yeah, you love that.
Baby Audio. Yeah,
I use Magic Dice so much. It's free and it's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
And I like it because I can't recall, even though I hate it because
I'm not gonna lie.
I love
that's what makes me walk away from it.
No, that makes me love it more because it's like it forces me to do something
if I make a mistake and hit this button,
oh, it's cooked.
You gotta commit.
But can I be honest? It forces me to just
be in the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Got you. Take us out.
No, what's your plugin?
Okay. No. We got to wrap, but no, I just want to say thank you.
Just give us a plugin, bro.
Just give us one.
No, because I want to talk about it on the next one. I'd rather talk about it on another episode. I'll talk about it on another episode.
Just give it to us and then be like, but I'll talk about it next week.
No, because then I don't know. You know the vibes. No.
You know the vibes.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. Please make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. And remember, one lucky person in the comment section is going to win that VIP Gold Edition Rosetta EQ or compressor. This has been the podcast. And LJ, take us out.
And I don't know what y'all need. And remember, you don't need no more plugins. You don't need no more plugins
at all.
Please stop. Like, they're getting you. Next November, no plugins.